Welcome to the World Football Summit podcast, the show for football industry leaders who want to stay ahead of the game. We bring you the latest insights, trends, and stories from the experts driving innovation and progress in sports business worldwide. Join us as we dive deep into the ideas and initiatives transforming the world of football. From sustainability and innovation to player development, fan engagement, and everything in between. Our goal is to unite the global football industry and drive positive change and progress.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the World Football Summit podcast. I'm your host, Jaime, CMO at World Football Summit. Football industry is embracing new technologies at an exponential rate. One of these groundbreaking shifts relates to the adoption of virtual technologies, which helps football properties connect with any stakeholder around the world at any time and drive operational efficiencies across the sport business. And our guests today are experts on precisely that. After working with top sports bodies across more than 40 events, Virtual Venue has demonstrated its ability to deliver cost savings, reduce carbon footprints, enhance events quality, and boost team productivity. Today, Sandro Batista and Vasco Pinheiro, managing partners at the firm, join us on this episode. We discuss a bunch of things, including the product, the use cases, what they have learned from working with top-notch clients, and in these interviews, I also like to hear about career entrepreneurial advice. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the podcast on your platform of choice and share it with your industry colleagues. You can also subscribe to our newsletter, where every week we send updates, trends, and everything that goes on at our events. You can find the link in the show notes. And remember that tickets for our events in London, Mexico, and Sevilla, they are all available on our websites. Check them out if you want to meet more companies shaping new frontiers of football. And now, enjoy the episode. Well, Vasco, Sandro, it's great to have you on the show. We've met at a couple of World Football Summit events already, and we're continuing this great relationship on the podcast, and I'm thrilled to have you guys. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to be here once again with WFS. This time doing a podcast, and before and after through the amazing events that WFS is organizing all over the world.
Yeah, this doesn't stay here, no? Anyway, guys, so I was wondering if you could briefly introduce yourself, each of you. I mean, Sandro, maybe we can start with you. And I always like to ask my guest, why? Why a career in sports? Why is it that you do what you do?
Okay, thank you, Jamie. So, hi, everyone. So, I'm Sandro. I'm founder and managing partner at Fox BC, and I'm leading our technology and product resort departments. So, for the sports, my background is a unique fusion between arts, math, and engineering. And this allows me to create some innovative solutions with technology, but also creativity. And I didn't like football since I was born, like Pashu. But my passion for football just started recently when I had some forgettable experiences in some UEFA Champions League matches that I attended with my kids. So those what driven me to create new solutions for this industry, especially our product, Virtual Venue.
Thank you, Sandro. And Vasco, how about yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. So I'm also a founder and managing partner of Fox BC. And my role is related to business development, alliances, and partnerships. So my background is software engineer with a specialization with artificial intelligence. But since I remember me as a kid, I love sports. I love football. I was federated. I played a lot of years football. So working in this industry, it's a privilege for me. And the technology, I strongly believe the role of the innovation and technology to push this industry forwards. And I think we will have the chance to discuss this topic along this podcast today.
We will definitely. So thank you, guys. I was wondering, Vasco, since we're with you here, I don't know if you can introduce our audience to Virtual Venue. What it is, How does it value to the industry? I mean, use cases that it's also, whatever you want to share.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so virtual venue is a game changer. So it's a multi-sport event planning and venue operations platform, all in the same integrated solution. So it's an enterprise-ready collaborative system that supports event organizers to plan and deliver events more efficiently, bringing everyone to the same page, in the same virtual space together, let's say like that. So it all starts building the digital twins of the infrastructures, of the stadiums, of arenas, of fun zones, festival areas where the events will be delivered. And then all the solutions work around these digital twins. And the use cases are very vast since we start very early in the process to support site visits, the virtual visits with 360 immersive views of the space. So it's not necessary to be there to plan an event. This is a huge, huge benefit that we will explain this also during this session today. So we support the virtual visits, we support overlays, maps and plans, security plans, transportation plans, flows, media tribune, planning, dot plans. So everything related to major event planning is done in the same system by multiple people, different domains, but working collaboratively in the same environment. I can continue with use cases, for instance, the activity plan, the action points and notifications, which are it's very, very important because when something is not aligned and with the expectations regarding the conditions of infrastructure to deliver the event, it's very important to be able to raise an action point like incident management, and quick notify people, workflows, and so through particular workflows to get things solved as fast as possible. So this is also very important during all the event planning and process. Bring everyone to the same page regarding the readiness of the infrastructure to deliver the event. And then we can talk also about the asset management for logistics. So what we do is to support event catalogs for the event, and the project teams may request items that are needed in each location to deliver the event. For instance, the media tribune, the tables, the chairs, the cables, the ICT cables, communications resources, tables, chairs, signage. So you imagine for a big major events, the logistics is very important, and the easily that we provide requests and bill of materials, it's very, very efficient, and everything is related to space. So as we have the digital twin, we can connect everything to the space, to the particular room, so where the things must be delivered and dismantling after the event. Um, and I can also talk about reporting. Um, Reporting, it's the awareness. So the multiple project teams goes on site to see if everything is ready regarding the domains of the teams, logistics, VIPs, broadcaster, commercial, ticketing, accreditation. Could be more than 40 different project teams that look at the infrastructure to the stadium to plan accordingly their domain. So it's important to report and collect all the data that is important to check the compliance to deliver the event, and we also give a lot of information to those that goes on site, because we already have like lessons learned from previous event and learn from previous event, and allows them to be very effective and fast on evaluation and answering the questions. And I can continuous and over and back, event monitoring, and the real-time match day analytics, which is also very important when you talk about smart stadium. And everything must be connected, and we provide technology that brings all the sensor data, since the gate access control, weather conditions, temperatures of the room, crowd counting, you name it. So all those sensors can be integrated to support the control rooms of the stadiums. So all this, you imagine the value that is delivered. It's a huge value for the money, and the return on investment it's very, very high for our clients. I will highlight some values regarding the low costs for event planning and the carbon footprint. So reducing the carbon footprint is very important because it's not necessary to go so many times on site. The collaboration between all stakeholders. When we talk about the huge mega event, we are not talking about the people that is directly related to event organization, but also local authorities, local security forces, firemen. So everyone must be at the same page, and we provide means that everyone can access their own data in a secure way. So the quality of the data, the single source of truth, the increased control about all the phases of the event. That's the value added that we provide to our clients. So for us and for our clients, what we see is this is a strong pillar for driving their digital transformation. It's improving collaboration, simplifying processes, increasing efficiency, and reducing costs effectively. And as you know, a good preparation is 90% of a success of an event. So, in a few words, this is the virtual venue.
Not bad. I mean, the amount of services that you guys provide is just amazing. Not through one technology, and that's, I think, something that's good, that's useful. At the end of the day, it's efficiency. At the end of the day, no. So,
Yes.
But I'm curious, and Sandro, maybe we can go with you. What was the trigger? I mean, what made you decide that you guys needed to launch virtual venue into the market? And I guess, what were the initial reactions when you launched this?
Yeah, that's quite interesting. So we started the Fox BC a few years ago, and the genesis of virtual venue was a natural extension of our expertise in location intelligence. So we started with projects in with the location intelligence landscape. We partnership with Google. So we are Google in one partners for the entire media market. And we started working in a lot of smart cities project. And on smart cities, you have your territory, you have your buildings, you have a lot of things to manage. And our start in the sports industry was sparked by an opportunity that Google brought to us. So this project with the UEFA was our stepping stone into applying our technical skills to sports and event planning operations. So what we did was, we brought the concept of the digital twin technology into this context of the sports. So some of the initial reactions were notably positive. So almost all the stakeholders were interested in to know more and how this kind of technology could help them on the event planning and operations, and was like that. So the start, but not only that. So this venture with the UEFA was more than just a project. So basically, it laid the groundwork for developing a product that addresses broader challenges in this industry, in the sports and event management. And after working with UEFA and presenting solutions to other similar companies, the enthusiasm of our prospects and customers, and the recognition of this need for advanced operational tools in sports events were what drove us to create the product, virtual venue.
I guess this is kind of like great way to start if you think about it. I mean, you start with a project with UEFA. I mean, what else can you ask for, no? Because that gives you probably a lot of credibility in terms of when presenting this to other football properties, no? So that's fantastic, no? And
Yeah, you know that I love Spider-Man, and with big powers comes big responsibility.
and Vasco, I want to ask you. I mean, after some experience that you've had with other properties, not only in football but in sports, no? I mean, what are the areas of a club or a property that benefit most from the implementation of virtual venue?
Yeah. I can highlight two or three areas within the stadium. So we look for the event planning behind the stadium, so the surroundings, the festival, the fan zones. So, but if you look specifically for a stadium, for a club owner or a stadium owner, I will say two or three topics that I think it's very important for them. It's monetization, the first one. So having the digital twin of the stadium, we can have the means to monetize the spaces for hospitality purposes, for sponsorship purposes, for fun engagement also. So the digitalization of the stadium will allows to drive new relationship between external stakeholders and help to monetize the infrastructure. The another one is the smart stadium concept. So the smart stadium, it's a very, very hot topic nowadays. So it's important. The sensorization, it's and IoT, and it's growing and growing indoors and inside the buildings. And the stadiums are not a part of this transformation. So what we offer here is the capability of the stadium to integrate multiple different providers of the sensors in one only in a one integrated environment to enrich the control room of the stadium. So we can bring real-time sensor data from the gate access control, from the video cameras, the video streaming, and the metadata of the events also. We can connect to internal sensors like noise sensors or temperature in each room sensors, people count. And if we look at outside, it's important for match day. And then we can integrate, for instance, the real-time location of the team bus, where the team bus is. Is there an accident around? So we can integrate waste data and traffic data, weather conditions that allow us to have a smooth plan of the event and anticipate risks, for security reasons. So I would say this, monetization and smart stadium. And the related smart stadium, we can also include the infrastructure location. Once we have the digital twin of the stadium, we can bring so the physical assets and knows their location, and also implement incident management solution integrated with the virtual venue to help to manage that infrastructure.
The smart stadium concept, I mean, is super interesting because I think it's a priority for football clubs to
Yeah.
enhance their stadium experience. I think it's one of the elements that differentiates sport properties from any other form of entertainment. So it makes total sense in the world that they are able to adapt their stadium to new technologies, no? So I'm sure you're tapping into that opportunity, no?
Yes, that's true. That's true. It makes completely sense. So we need to bring the digital transformation. It's everywhere.
And in terms of challenges, Sandro, what are kind of like the main challenges that an event organizer faces, when they're organizing a match, tournament, and whatever, really?
Yeah. So focus on the event organizers. One of the key challenges of the event organizer is to make sure the right people have access to all the information in a simple and clear way. Um, so, and to generate this information and of course these insights, everyone needs to know their rules, um, where they need to be, uh, what they need to do, and when. If it's before the match, if it's after the match, if it's 1 hour or 2 hours. This will allow the managers and other stakeholders to have this accurate information, event related information through some dashboards or KPIs, so that they can decide. So everything needs to be structured, needs to be simple to use, needs to be easy to use for instance, for the volunteers. As you may know, in the venues or in the events, we have a lot of we call it volunteers. So it's the people that are on the event checking if everything is okay. So they are the first sensor that we have at the venue, and they are digital nomads. So we cannot create very complex systems that they don't know how to use. That, for instance, and then going back to my previous talk about our partnership with Google, that was something that we brought to virtual venue as well. So uh, the Tobin is something that it's reliable, it's fast, it's in real time, but it's very, very easy to use because otherwise people won't use it, and it's impossible to generate information and insights when you don't have the data. So that is one of the main challenges: is to have the data, to monitoring what is happening, and with that information to improve the next match.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And I would like to go into specific use cases because I think that's where the audience is going to get the most value from. But before going into that, I was wondering if you could let us know, I mean, why is digital twin technology important, and why is it now the time for football properties to really invest in it? Vasco, I don't know, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I might. Um, I already give some words about it, but so everything is become the economy is become more and more digitized. So the role of the technology is in everyday's everywhere in every day is what we do. So it's the digital twin allows to create much more value related to the infrastructure and create business value and use cases through technology to approach to the fans, to the stakeholders, to manage the infrastructure and so on. So imagine the capacity of planning an event in the other part of the world, you know? So what we propose and what we can offer to our clients and what we do in multiple cases is to help our clients to plan very, very complex events, not being there on site, you know? So we need to provide them all information their needs. And part of that information is the digital twin of the infrastructure. And that capacity is very, very relevant um, because the cost of the event planning is is reduced a lot. And for sustainability also, it's a very big impact.
At the end of the day, you're
Yeah.
reducing cost is
Yeah.
one of the key priorities. Not at the end of the day, that's
Yes.
profitability, but you're also getting a lot of value in terms of the data that you're capturing. No, so
Yeah.
in a way, you're also
Yes.
creating value for the football property. No,
Uh-huh.
so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Let's say that
Yeah.
you're tackling there.
Uh-huh.
Guys, let's get
Yeah.
into use cases, and I understand now that we don't have to go into the details of with who you worked with, because I understand there's NDAs that you need to respect and all of that, but maybe we can go into general examples. No? So the first use case, I want to go back to 2021. No, you guys were collaborating with a property that was organizing a major football event. No, so How was virtual venue useful there? What happened? Maybe you can tell us what the problem was, the context a little bit, and then what was the result?
Okay, I can take that one. So yeah,
Sure.
so that was not easy times to. So yeah, I think that the example that you are referring to was one of the first major events that happened after that all the entire globe was affected with this pandemic. So you can imagine a major event, a major football event was a kind of very, very, very hard to adapt. And the starting event is started when at least 4 years before the event. And then suddenly you have something that will change will change the event, but at the same time you don't know which changes that will happen, because during the pandemic we were like all of us looking at the charts, the evolution, then downgrade, upgrade, whatever. So one scenario for the event was zero attendance fee, so only the teams will be there, or another scenario, 25% attendance fee or 50%. So this never happened before. You see, so it was a major challenge. And what we did was that, so let's create what for the organizer, what it was supported by virtual venue to create different scenarios for 0 or 25% or 50% attendance fee. So when the event happened, we just can follow with one of the scenarios. Another constraint were the visits, so the physical visits to the stadium. So another thing that we also improved and helped with the platform was we introduced 360 panoramas and images and videos that the stadium owner could take in the stadium, send and place them directly on the platform, so the organizer can see like a lot of kilometers away. So the number of visits were, instead of physical, they were changed to remote visits. And also the platform needed to adapt, because it need to allow this kind of content that was not there before, but so that the remote visitors can have a clear picture of what was happening.
And I'm just thinking, why make things easy? No, I mean, at the end of the day, why don't we just decide to change and and kind of like make last minute changes? It's boring if we don't make those last minute changes. We know that well for World Folk Summit events. And speaking of that, actually, and maybe Vasco, you can take this one. There's also a case where you guys, because the world was going through unforeseen circumstances, even the whole city of a final major tournament had to be changed. No. So I don't know what challenges you faced on that one.
The goals on that major final, it was to monitor the fans. Depending on the event and the information needed by the event planner, we can suggest different type of sensors. So if we are talking about, for instance, the crowd counting and people counting, we can put different kinds of sensors. But one thing it's very important, it's the sensor accuracy, to make sure that the data that we are receiving, it's real data on site, So the type of sensor, the sensor accuracy, and also when are talking about deploying on-site sensors in outdoor environments. There are weather conditions, night, rain conditions. We work with our clients to find the better ways to define the best sensors to collect the data that it's needed to plan the events in real time. So, and mainly is related to security issues. So where the people are, how many people are in each place, in each time, what can we do to move people from one side to another side, and to help the security of the event to run the event more smoothly. I don't know if I answer your question.
Oh, you did, and I think that's a good point. I mean, I
Okay.
think at the end of the day,
Yeah.
security is a big piece of this, and
Yeah.
especially I'm thinking during the context of that event, major
Mhm.
tournament, had to be kind of like a
Yeah.
last minute decision. I mean, I guess there's a lot of fear, from the sports property
Mhm.
perspective on and you really need a robust technology that
Mhm.
you can
Yep.
implement, no?
Yes.
Um, and
Exactly that.
Vasco,
Exactly.
you alluded to the fact that you also during the event itself, because this is the kind of like the preparation phase where we've been discussing so far now, but even
Mhm.
during the event, you're able to help, no? So just monitoring the event itself. So Sandra, maybe you want to take this one, no? But what type of let's say if you want to go into more detail into how you help football properties kind of like monitor the
Mhm.
actual what's actually happening during the event.
The event can be quite different between the sports industry. So, for instance, we are talking mainly about football, but we also work with different industries like basketball, and the events are a little bit different. So, focus on a match, on a football match. Um, the idea is quite simple. If you take a look, so someone go to the stadium, you have 45 minutes, you have a break for a beer, you have 45 minutes more, everyone go happy home, and no problem at all.
Mhm.
But most
Mhm.
most of the time, this is not the case, right? A lot of problems can happen. And for instance, if like taking the one example, just the match and one big final, you have a lot of things to plan, not only on the stadium, and not only nearby the pitch, where for sure you already have a lot of issues to handle there, but also outside. So you need to know when the funds are coming to your city, where are they staying, where are they meeting. As you know, the stadium it's not never big enough for a match. So you have the full capacity of the stadium, and then you have at least the double of that number of fans that also come to your city. And you need to prepare not only the stadium, but also the city. And not only the space where the funds will be, but also how the funds will get to the stadium. And how can you ensure that the funds will be uh, um, 1 or 2 hours before the match starts, before the kickoff, to avoid problems, for instance, in the gates. So we had a problem a few years ago, a major problem in the football industry because something went wrong on the entrance to the stadium. Fans were drinking a few beers before the match, during the entire morning and afternoon. And this is only the fans because you have all the other stuff. For instance, one area that we also start working with it's the broadcasters area. So, as you know, the stream of the match needs to occur at that minute with no latency, with no interruption, nothing. So I was showing one end-to-end test for this TV streaming, and there was a guy that during like half an hour was with a mic doing like a click on the mic every second just to ensure that was no way. It's like nationwide, and the families and group of fans and friends they meet together to watch that match. So the event is not really only the stadium; it's the stadium. The stadium surrounds the city, the country, the television at home of the foreigners. So it's a lot of things can happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, it's unpredictable when you're trying to handle
Mhm.
so many people, attending a match, and they're also drinking and they're having fun and they're kind of like,
Mhm.
being, let's say, they have strong emotions towards the game, no, and especially if you're speaking of at a final. So I think having the tools to actually manage that is just invaluable. What advice would you have for any founder
Yeah.
that wants to go
Yeah. I
into
think.
the sports industry?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good question. This is a particular industry, but I think it's not different from other industries in the sense of the innovation and the role of the entrepreneur. The first is to have a product, an offer, a service differentiator. So what is the offer? What is the value? What So what is the idea behind the scenes? So it's not needed to have everything ready, but at least one MVP to show, and to that must be a differentiated product or service. So it's very important to find the niche, and where can we add some value that no one thought about it yet, either a product or a service. So, and also identify as well as possible the value delivered. So what my problem, what my product or my service will solve, the value added, the value delivered to to the customer, either business to consumer or business to business. But it must be a differentiated product, and must be clear the value that is delivered to the business. And also, it's important to have a lighthouse. A lighthouse is could be a POC with a prospect, with could be an offer. So why the entrepreneurs could offer a project to an entity and use that project as a lighthouse to other organizations. So have a reference and someone that already used. It's important to establish the credibility, and to prove that the product is real, useful, and is helping to solve some problem in the real world, let's say like that. And don't give up at the first denial, at the second, and never give up. So you should be persistent and follow the dream, that because if it's a differentiated product with value, the entrepreneurs will achieve the results they want.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's a great list. And I really like that concept of the lighthouse. No, I think it's something worth reflecting upon. No, Sandro, I don't know if you want to add anything from your side.
Some like more detailed advices. For instance, go to LinkedIn, try to find the one you want to talk with, send him a message, not just connect or I'm glad to be part of your network. Send a message. I have this problem. Can reach you. See if someone of your network already knows someone that you want to talk with. Gives him an introduction so they can present that person to you. So don't be cold and so techy, and so talk to people like human to human. See if it before you run the MVP, see if it makes sense. Create a Google form or a type form, but create a Google form. Create a landing website with no codes, like no code tools, like for instance Mapify.ai that we use to create no code maps. Use this kind of stuff, this kind of tools, because otherwise you will spend your money, your family money, so do a form, create a simple website, validate it with your close network, but also people outside your network, outside your comfortable zone.
I love that advice. I mean, simplicity is just so important. And when I speak about simplicity, it's simplicity in operations, but also in the language. I mean, at the end of the day, when we're dealing with technology, it's not really about demonstrating how many buzzwords you know and how many complex terms you know. It's more about how can you make the other person understand what you're there for and how you're going to help them at the end of the day. And that needs to be super clear. So I love that advice. Guys, this has been a great conversation. I've had tons of fun. I think the audience will really see the potential behind the technology. But before you go, I want to ask you one quick question, because as you know, and you guys have been at our events, we launched a rebrand in 2023, basically calling for the industry to become more professional, to embrace innovation, to adopt sustainability, which is kind of like the different elements that you guys are offering through Virtual Venue. So I was wondering if, Vasco, we can start with you, but if you could define very briefly in 1-2 sentences, the football you want, the football you need, which is kind of like the claim that we used to kind of summarize everything that we stand for at World Football Summit, how would you do it?
We are very aligned with the rebranding that WFS has made, the rebranding strategy, excellence, innovation, and sustainability. So what we not only aligned with the vision, but we are delivering that values through our technology. So when our clients embrace the virtual venue technology, they are embracing innovation, new ways of work. It's a transformation. It's internal transformation. It's not a piece of technology. It's a piece of transformation. The organization wants to change the way they work to work better through innovation, and that comes to the excellency. Commit to excellency. The 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 process of organization and events is um, is a process that can be completely automated through our technology. So the procedures, the lessons learned from past events, everything is written, evidence is from everything. So the process is very, very important because the organizations want to deliver excellent events and everything is sustainable and based on processes. And also the sustainability, it's important because and our clients are benefit from that when using the virtual venue. We can reduce the travel to on-site travels because we have the digital twin ready to be planned on remote. So I can be on my office planning the event, and for in the strategic sustainability for the organization, this is very, very important because we can deliver the same quality or even better quality event planning, reducing the number of on-site travels. So we are completely aligned with the WFS rebranding strategy. So commit to excellence, innovation, and sustainability. Yeah.
Thank you, Vasco. Sandro, I
Yeah.
don't know, you want to take, you want to share your opinion on the football you want, the football you need?
We need to be up to date with trends so we can discuss about this industry. Of course, that not all the trends should be adopted just because it's a trend, just because you go to Google search and see what people are searching for or whatever, or digital cleaning or blockchain. Does it make sense to football? It is just a matter of selling more jerseys, or if it is really to improve football. It is really to unite people around these sports, unite people, families, friends, and to bring better experiences to all, to facilitate the way that people go to see the match, to how they stay at home, see the match at home. How can football can improve the way people live nowadays? As I told you at the beginning, I was not a very football fan, and right now I really love. I really love football. And the main thing is it's not because of the football, because of the match or how you play with your left or right foot. It's the way football and this industry unites people with a common goal. You see like guys that are fighting on the street and blah blah blah. But when their team or the national team are playing, all of them are united. How can we bring the power of football, this power of unity, this power of that football has to improve citizens' lives, people's lives, my kids' life, you know? How can we move the power of football to improve our next generations?
That's a great way to end. I mean, at the end of the day, football is a common language. It unites people around the world. And I think technology is an enabler of doing that, And so I really like that concept of technology for a purpose. So thank you guys for that answer and for this conversation overall. I think it's been fun. So where can the audience learn more about you? Obviously, you guys are going to be with us in more events, and I'm sure they're going to be looking out for you guys in our events in 2024. But I mean, meanwhile, if they want to check your website or anything that you want to send them to, I mean, the floor is yours.
So, of course, first of all, our names will be there. So if you start for Sandro Batista or Vasco Pinheiro at LinkedIn, please send us a message. And like personal, it's very, very much easier to talk. If you are more, if you want to know more about us without getting personal message. Well, we warmly invite everyone in learning more about virtual venue and some of our innovative work in the sports industry to explore our website. It's virtual venue events.com, virtual venue/events.com. So here you will find all detailed information about our products, services, and some of the cutting-edge solutions that we are providing to this sports industry. Of course, additionally, we are very active in LinkedIn, and so something we are sharing insights and engage with our community. So following us would be a great way to stay informed and connect with us. We'd like to see. For those who prefer a more personal interaction and to experience the technology, because sometimes it's hard to explain it in a remote call, we will be physically doing a World Football Summit events in June in London and Mexico, Sevilla, Asia. So this will be excellent opportunities to see our products in action, but not only our products, because World Football Summit events are quite impressive and one of the best that we have been in this area.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys. This has been great. I want to thank you for your time. I'm sure people are going to check you out, and I'm sure they're going to discover the current use cases and the potential that this technology is going to have for, as we said, becoming more efficient, becoming more profitable, and not only that, but also helping those create positive impact that we want to create a positive impact through football. So thank you.
Thank you, Jamie, for having us. Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Have a good day. Bye-bye. Thank you.
And there you have them, the folks from Virtual Venue, Sandro and Vasco. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. And to me, I mean, it's just fascinating to see the potential of digital twin technology, even though we discussed several use cases like monetization, fan engagement, security, monitoring traffic of fans during an event. I mean, at the end of the day, even sustainability, actually. I mean, the amount of use cases is just amazing. But what I liked most about this conversation is the potential that it has and how the quest for efficiency, for profit, the purpose of this technology, it resonates very much with what we do here at World Football Summit. And at the end of the day, technology is an enabler for the football that we want, So, and as, they were saying, it really is about committing to excellence, to embracing innovation, and to being on top of trends. But again, let's not forget that football is a great driver of positive change in the world, and that technology can actually help enhance that. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you. I want to also remind you that Virtual Venue is going to be present at our events in World Football Summit. You can check them out. You can visit them. They're great guys, if you've seen, and they're probably going to explain much more detail than what they did today. If you want to join us at our events, whether it's in London, it's in Mexico, it's in Sevilla, the information is available on our website. You can check it all out. And it would be very valuable if you rate the podcast on your platform of choice, if you share it with your friends and colleagues from the industry. And hopefully you learned something new, and we'll see you around at these events. And nothing else from my side. Have a great rest of your day, and we hope to see you next time.